Gustav was no Katrina, but there is still work to be done in the Big Easy. Power lines are down across New Orleans and other areas hit by Gustav. Now crews from Kentucky are heading south to help restore power. New Orleans officials say it's too soon for evacuees to return home. Many homes are still without power, and the city's sewer system is not functioning at capacity. And despite the storm, the Republican National Convention is underway in Minnesota. First at 4 is next.
For years, you have thought about building your dream home. What are you waiting for? You can make it happen, and we can help. Community Trust Bank. Do you need a loan?
Red 31!
High school football is back. Play hard. Play to win. Appalachian Wireless proudly supports your hometown team. Every catch, every hit, every hard-fought point. With the best coverage on the field, you always get more with Appalachian Wireless.
For years, you've dreamed about starting your own business. What are you waiting for? You can make it happen, and we can help. Community Trust Bank. Do you need a loan?
Serving eastern and southern Kentucky for more than 20 years. Mountain News. First at 4 starts now.
You know, it doesn't matter to us because our job is putting up lines and setting poles and getting people's power back on.
Kentucky crews with American Electric Power gear up for disaster relief as they head south to areas affected by Hurricane Gustav. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Neil Middleton. Thanks for joining us for this inaugural edition of WYMT Mountain News First at 4. Disaster relief efforts are underway in the Gulf states after Hurricane Gustav leaves a trail of destruction. The storm left hundreds of thousands of people without electricity, and WYMT's Matt Barber was there as power crews from Kentucky headed south to help.
They have no idea what's ahead of them, but they're ready to work.
You do what you do. And, you know, if it's 2 weeks, that's fine. If it's 3 weeks, that's fine too.
Kentucky power crews from across the state gathered Tuesday morning before hitting the road to help areas affected by Gustav. They say being ready to go at any time comes with the job.
I think that's about the case with just linemen in general. I mean, if we need help here, they send people here sometime, and then if they need help there, we'll go to them.
Ronnie Rice just finished a 2-week training session away from home and says being gone from his 6-month-old son again won't be easy, but he's more than willing to help.
Well, I'm interested in going down and see what's going on with the damage. Hopefully help these people out, you know.
And with a goodbye kiss, his wife says she's proud.
It's just hard to do the things that I usually do without him, but I'm sure he'll go down there and help everybody that he can.
And workers who saw the devastation during storms like Katrina say it can be eye-opening.
It's a humbling experience when you get there because you see all the devastation, all the power lines down, but also you see people's lives, how much it's being affected there.
And that's why they say it doesn't matter how long it takes if it makes a difference. In Perry County, Matt Barber, WYMT Mountain News.
The group is made up of 16 workers from Pikeville, Hazard, and Ashland. The crew's supervisor says they will start work in Texarkana, Texas, and will go wherever help is needed. New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin is talking about the destruction Hurricane Gustav left behind in his city. Nagin says it's too early for people who evacuated to return. He says the city's sewer system is not functioning at its full capacity. Trees and power lines are down all across the Big Easy, and much of the area is without power.
Reentry is only days away and not weeks away. So I don't want anybody to think that we're talking about weeks. You know, tomorrow, hopefully we will have everything in order where we can, later on this week, we can have our citizens to start to come back into the city.
Forecasters are watching several other tropical systems out in the Atlantic. Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell will have more on how those storms could affect us coming up in your First at 4 forecast. The Republicans are hoping to start celebrating now that Hurricane Gustav has moved on. Tonight, they'll try to focus attention on the party's nominee, John McCain. The GOP says President Bush will speak to delegates by satellite this evening. He was supposed to be there in person last night. Rudy Giuliani will not speak tonight, but Fred Thompson and Joe Lieberman will. In our latest web poll, we asked, how do you think the GOP should handle the Republican National Convention? Just more than 8% say cancel it and 26% say postpone it. Nearly 65.5% say go on with the current abbreviated schedule. And we'll announce our next web poll on Mountain News at 6. For the latest from the WYMT convention floor, just log on to WYMTnews.com. Republican National Committee Chairman Mike Duncan is blogging from Minneapolis. You'll find from the convention floor on the WYMT News page as well as on Neil's notebook page. Well, John McCain's VP pick is the topic of conversation today. McCain's running mate, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, made an announcement Monday saying her 17-year-old daughter, Bristol, is pregnant and is not married. Now, some are criticizing Governor Palin's parenting skills. Those we talked to in eastern Kentucky had mixed feelings about the news.
I got pregnant when I was 17. You know, it happens, and she seems to be a real good mother. And she seems to have good children.
Going to affect the way you vote in November?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to affect the way I vote in November.
Democratic opponent Barack Obama says the pregnancy should not be a campaign issue. Hurricane Gustav may be no more, but several other storms are looking to make their presence known out in the Atlantic. Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell joins us now with our first look at the forecast. Jimmy?
I mean, Neil, the tropics are red hot right now. I mean, we've got 3 storms out there that are set to move across the Atlantic, one that could be in the U.S. within the next week. So a lot of activity going on. But first, let's look at the live pinpoint Doppler radar around here. And you're looking at nice, clean sweeps here in eastern Kentucky. We had some decent amounts of rainfall last week. Now we're just looking ahead at the potential for some rain that could arrive from some of those tropical systems as they arrive around here. The first one being, of course, handled by the weekend, perhaps. Let me show you just exactly what we've got going on the regional satellite radar composite there. Check out what's left over of our good old friend Gustav. You can see it producing the potential for some severe weather down across parts of Mississippi here today. And check out the red hot tropics all across the board, folks. I mean, this is a dandy. You've got Hannah leading the way. You've got Ike, and you also have Josephine out there just off the coast of Africa. So 3 storms. Hannah expected to become a hurricane yet again, and then start to make an approach toward the U.S. So that's why it's called the red hot tropics, with 3 storms moving across the Atlantic right now. I'll have the latest forecast, and I'll show you the track of Hannah coming up over the next few days here a little bit later.
Okay, thanks, Jimmy. Well, to the relief of many Americans, it doesn't look like Hurricane Gustav had much of an impact on gas prices. The national average for 1 gallon of regular unleaded stands at $3.68. Kentucky's average is just below the national at $3.65. Taking a look at some of the lowest gas prices across the region, our First at 4 pump pricer shows some of the cheapest gas prices in the mountains. You'll find gas at the Kroger on US 25E in Corbin for $3.49. The Food City Gas and Go in Pikeville on Cassidy Boulevard has gas at $3.56, and the Shell off Highway 15 in Whitesburg is at $3.69. Now, if you see a lower price in your area, send an email to pumppricer@WYMTnews.com. A traffic alert this afternoon for drivers in Whitley County. Construction work is underway on 4th Street in Corbin between Mitchell and Stamper Streets. City officials say the work will go on for about 2 weeks. There will be delays, and officials say drivers should find an alternate route if possible. A wildlife and coal interpretive center could be one day a reality in the mountains. Officials with the Center for Rural Development's Tourism Board say they've already received a $25,000 grant and completed a feasibility study for the project.
We don't want to be ashamed of coal mining. We want to tell a story that if it weren't for coal mining, we would probably not have the wildlife that we've got now.
Officials are looking at building the center near the Perry-Knott County line, but they say a timeline depends on future funding. An Eastern Kentucky man is dead tonight after he ran his ATV into a pond. It happened just before 8 last night in the Whitley County section of the Frakes community. Police say 55-year-old Harold Hurst was driving his ATV when he lost control and ended up trapped under the vehicle in a small pond. He died at the scene. Police say foul play is not suspected. A Rowan County man is fighting for his life this afternoon. Moorhead State Police found Eddie Robinson unresponsive outside his home on Hamilton Road in rural Rowan County, just outside Moorhead. He is in intensive care at UK in critical condition. Now, police charged an Ohio man, Michael Sparks, with assault. They say Sparks punched Robinson repeatedly, knocking him unconscious. An explosion injured more than 12 people in North Dakota. Still ahead, a look at the damage. And it's bypass surgery versus stents. A new study takes a look at which option is best for patients with clogged arteries.
Join the WYMT Birthday Club and celebrate your big day with WYMT Mountain News. Log on to WYMTnews.com to sign up. Then watch Mountain News This Morning, sponsored by McDonald's. Your child will have a unique dental experience at the Pediatric Dental Office of Dr. Lee Boyd. In this child-friendly atmosphere, Dr. Boyd and his staff provide exceptional care and treatment for children ages 1 to 18. We begin with an exam, teach proper cleaning techniques, take x-rays, and then create a custom treatment plan, including braces if needed.
I've been coming to Dr. Boyd's office since I was 2 years old. All the workers are really nice.
For a smile of confidence that will last a lifetime, Pediatric Dentistry, Dr. Lee Boyd.
Watch the Legend Suzuki Show every Friday night at 7 p.m. It's fun, it's informative, and it will lead you to the best auto deals around. The Legend Suzuki Show, Friday nights at 7.
Hazard Furniture's Labor Day liquidation is still going on, but it all ends Saturday, the last sale of the summer. But there's still time to get in on unbelievable store-wide liquidation prices. 4-piece bedroom, $8.99, queen bed free. 2-piece sofa love seat, $9.99, recliner free. Simmons Beauty Rest, Tempur-Pedic bedding, the lowest price in the mountains. Everything at Hazard Furniture is still slashed up to 60% off and no payments till next Labor Day. Don't miss Hazard Furniture's Labor Day liquidation. Tremendous deals and no payments for 1 full year, and delivery still free.
The Ultimate Employer Conference is coming to the Jenny Wiley State Park on September 11th. Join the Gateway Society for Human Resources Management and findkyjobs.com for successful employment tips. Log on to WYMTnews.com for more information.
Honey, wouldn't it be easier to just call someone?
I can fix it. At Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, your local Lennox dealer, if you've got a problem, we can fix it.
Honey?
Oh, Billy, I can fix it. You can call Big Sandy anytime, day or night. I can't fix it. But we can.
Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling. For over 31 years, they're the king of comfort.
Now get up to a $1,000 rebate or 12 months financing.
And now, Sky Alert weather featuring Pinpoint Doppler. Eastern and Southern Kentucky's most dependable forecast. Sponsored by Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Tropical storm Hannah is making its way over the Bahamas, but forecasters say their predictions bring the storm back to hurricane status in time to hit the eastern seaboard later this week. Now, the National Hurricane Center in Miami is predicting the hurricane to hit the Atlantic coast as a major hurricane by Friday or Saturday. It's a very, very active time out there in the tropics, Neil. 3 tropical storms out there. You know, the governor of Louisiana last week was talking about, just a couple of days ago, prepare for the worst, pray for the best. In this instance, that was probably the best that could happen. We were lucky. We were certainly lucky, but I don't know how much luck we're going to have, as we've got 3 more that are brewing out there in the Atlantic. I'll have more on that here in just a moment. Let's check our live Pinpoint Doppler radar out. And you're looking at, of course, the clean sweeps here in eastern Kentucky, and that's generally the way it has been over the last few days here in southeastern Kentucky. Lots of shower and storm activity last week, though, so that was some very welcome news as we're, of course, starting to slip into the drought status here in eastern Kentucky. We all know those numbers are certainly down around the region. Temperatures around eastern Kentucky. Here they come for you. There's plenty of heat to go around as well. 88 London, 88 in Middlesboro, 90 in Somerset. That's a big surprise out there for Somerset. They're so used to that now, folks. So we head through the rest of the day. The old day part forecast starting right around 6 o'clock should be around 84 degrees. Getting down to 78 and then right around 75 at midnight, but generally a clear evening here in eastern Kentucky. So should be a fairly comfortable one for us here. Just a little more humidity trying to creep into the overall region here. Now, satellite radar composite, check it out. We're looking at a few clouds trying to stream in for us here from what's left over of Gustav. That's what this thin band of clouds is, and you see another little wave of it trying to roll in. We could eventually possibly see a stray shower out of that. It's just going to take forever because this system is just barely creeping along there through parts of northern Louisiana and Arkansas. A front's going to catch it, and as it catches it, this energy will start to ride right along that boundary, but it starts to really slow down, almost hit the brakes. I wish some of these other systems would try to do the same thing. We've got what we're calling the red-hot tropics. From Hannah to Ike to Josephine, 3 tropical storms. Hannah will be the first to reach the U.S., and then Ike could very well be close behind. Here's what we expect out of this. This is the latest forecast. We'll be updating this again at 6 o'clock because the new information, the new forecast from the National Hurricane Center will be out at 5 o'clock, so we'll have the latest forecast coming ashore right along the east coast here, as we mentioned earlier. And then, as you see, Kentucky could be in the path of that as it comes inland here as a tropical storm, then eventually down to a depression. So we could see some more rain out of Hannah, so that could be something very beneficial to us here. Talking about 87 for a high tomorrow and dry all the way through there, at least the first 3 days of our 7-day forecast, where your weekend is always imbued. And then if we get Hannah in here, Saturday, Sunday time frame, we could be talking about that moisture at that point in time. Let's check our mountain calendar out, and what we got here for you is the Putney Missionary Baptist Church. They're going to be having homecoming services coming up September 7th at 10 a.m. Also, special singing and dinner.
Okay, the U.S. military handed over control of the once brutally violent Anbar province to Iraqi forces this week, marking a major milestone in America's plan to eventually send its troops home. But American officials warn the struggle against al-Qaeda and other insurgents is not over in the western region, the scene of some of the bloodiest battles in Iraq since the 2003 U.S.-led invasion. President Bush met with his cabinet today to discuss energy issues facing the country and how Hurricane Gustav may have disrupted the flow of oil from the Gulf of Mexico. He also called on Congress again to allow more domestic drilling. He says he believes legislators should give oil companies the chance to find more oil at home.
I'd much rather, American consumers be buying gasoline produced from American oil than from foreign oil. I'd rather our dollars stay at home than go overseas.
As for Hurricane Gustav, early indications show the storm did not cause much damage. The oil rigs in the Gulf or the refineries on shore. Some oil companies are already putting equipment and workers back in place. Oil prices plunged today, falling within sight of $100 a barrel. Crude fell $7 to $107 a barrel. The last time prices hovered in that range was in early April. Shots are fired inside an Ohio high school. Now one teen is in custody. The latest on the situation next on First at 4.
Gain more independence. Return to work. Get back into the game. Improve performance of daily activities. ARH offers complete rehabilitation services, including physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Get back to your life. Our professional and trained staff offer flexible hours and timely access to physicians, imaging, and lab services. Ask your doctor for a referral to ARH Rehabilitation Services. ARH, advancing medicine in the mountains.
Still using a dial-up modem to connect to the internet? You're not getting half the picture. With Microtech DSL, you get blazing speeds, up to 50 times faster. Enjoy full motion video, digital music, interactive games. All your downloads are blazing fast. No extra phone lines or busy signals. Hook up to the always connected high-speed DSL. Call Microtech High-Speed Internet Services and start surfing fast.
People come from everywhere to walk
Walters, Mazda, Mitsubishi.
They come from Pikeville, Melvin, Virgie, Elkhorn City, Prestonsburg, Whitesburg, Neon. They come from Halley, Hazard, Allen, Inez, South Williamson.
Walters is your Mazda, Mitsubishi dealer.
They come from Warfield, Betts Creek, Delberton, West Virginia, Harold, Mousy, Martin, Louisa, Raccoon Stone.
They come from Cremona.
That's Walters, Mazda, Mitsubishi in Pikeville.
My name is Tom Moak, an attorney with Moak & Nunnery. At Moak & Nunnery, we are committed to giving our clients their day in court. When our clients in this case were offered a small settlement by the insurance company, we took the case to trial and won. Our clients were very satisfied with the outcome at trial. At Moak & Nunnery, we understand the importance of going to trial to protect your rights. If you need an attorney willing to stand up in court to protect your rights, call Moak & Nunnery.
Moak & Nunnery, protecting your rights close to home.
Starting a new garden doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not when you have the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It does all the hard work for you. The powerful two-cycle engine spins the patented tines deep into the soil. It cuts through the hardest clay and tangled weeds, yet maneuvers nimbly through the tightest spaces. Now get this amazing Mantis at huge factory direct savings. Plus, we'll give you this border edger free. Call now for complete information.
1-800-711-3844.
School officials and parents are breathing a sigh of relief this afternoon after shots are fired at a northern Ohio high school. The superintendent at Willoughby South High School in Metro Cleveland told a local television station that a student brought a gun to school this morning. Witnesses say 2 shots were fired. Miller says the shooter is in custody and no one was injured. Several people are injured after an explosion at a North Dakota duplex. The blast happened just after midnight in Fargo, injuring 13, including some children. Officials say part of the duplex was destroyed. Firefighters from 2 cities responded to the scene. No word yet on what caused that explosion. And new studies show patients with hard-to-treat clogged arteries are better off getting bypass surgery than drug stents. The long-awaited research results show nearly 18% of patients receiving stents or tiny tubes used to prop open clogged arteries either died, suffered a heart attack or stroke, or needed a repeat procedure. That figure compares to 12% of patients who went under the knife. Now let's check in now with WYMT's Steve Hensley for a look at what's coming up on Mountain News at 6. Steve?
Neil, 6 of the inmates accused of nearly beating a man to death in jail were back in court today. We'll have the latest on that. Also, I'll have an update on a story we covered 11 years ago about a pharmacist who stole drugs. Jared Combs has now been sober for almost 8 years, is working at a pharmacy in Lexington, and has written a new book. Also new at 6, money troubles for one Eastern Kentucky Sheriff's Department. We hope all of you will stay tuned for Mountain News at 6. Neil?
Okay, thanks, Steve. Well, even though it's just Tuesday, many people are already looking ahead to the weekend. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell will have a peek at the extended forecast.
I'm Stacey Johnson. You know, every day you see another poll predicting the winner of the White House. But there's a source that might be more accurate than polls and let you put your money where your vote is. I'm going to take you there coming up on Money Talks.
Where do you go when you need to know? Stay informed by using your cell phone. Simply use your cell network and go to WYMT2go.com. News, weather, sports, and so much more. Sponsored by Appalachian Wireless.
Don't miss all the fun folks from miles around will be having at Old Fashioned Trading Days this weekend, September 4th through September 6th in Williamsburg, Kentucky.
A hunter in West Virginia used it to get off the perfect shot. A rancher in Montana used it to pound in miles of fence posts. And a guide in Colorado used it to climb over a jagged ridgeline. Electric power steering from Honda. You'll be amazed how much more you can achieve when riding your ATV doesn't wear you out. Available on the 4Trax Foreman.
Get straight deals on a full line of Hondas at Honda of Prestonsburg. Only for those who love adventure.
The new year means new fun and new challenges in the great outdoors. And renewing your hunting and fishing license means renewing your connection with what you love most. The best value is still the Kentucky Sportsman's License. For fishing and hunting large game and small, the Sportsman's License will save you $50 versus licenses and permits sold separately. And when you buy your license online, you also save time. Visit fw.ky.gov.
When dealing with personal injury, you want experience on your side. You've seen us on TV for years talking about the law, and now you've been injured. At Gary C. Johnson's office, we approach your case with a team of attorneys to make every effort to settle your case quickly and confidentially. The law firm you choose does make a difference. Gary C. Johnson, Attorneys at Law, 1-800-337-4002.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the most important product I've ever endorsed, access to affordable health insurance. The ICANN Group offers plans with guaranteed acceptance as low as $160 a month for you or $270 a month for your family. I'm not talking about a discount card. I'm talking about real insurance with coverage for all these services. You can't afford not to make this call. There's nothing to lose, everything to gain. So call ICANN right now and tell them Billy sent you.
Satellite services provided by Cooley Medical. We equip your life.
One of the most hotly contested presidential elections in decades is entering its final phase. Who's going to win? In today's Money Talks report, Stacey Johnson has an unlikely source of information and perhaps profit, providing you're willing to put your money where your mouth is.
Blacksmiths and printers.
As campaign 2008 approaches the finish line, we're all looking for signs that we're backing the right horse, which is why polling organizations exist. These guys handicap the election by asking people how they're going to vote. Are they the most accurate source of predicting election outcomes? Maybe not. It turns out that people willing to put their money where their mouth is, in other words, bettors, may have more horse sense than pollsters when it comes to predicting the outcome of elections.
If you look at polls run during the election, and we've looked at about 600 polls, what we found is that in about 75% of the cases, the Iowa market prices predict the actual vote share of the election better than the polls.
The professor is talking about a low-stakes trading market that the University of Iowa has sponsored for years. Participants can wager from $5 to $500 in a winner-take-all futures market and everything from political races to box office receipts. Primary purpose, giving students the ultimate incentive to learn.
I would say the value of the markets for a student would be to learn how trading works and how an efficient market can come to a prediction.
And the University of Iowa's electronic market isn't the only game in town. There are lots of places to bet on the outcome of elections, many of which may ultimately prove more accurate than the polls. Bottom line, when it comes to predicting the outcome of some events, bettors may be more accurate than pollsters. But why shouldn't they be? After all, they're putting their money where their vote is. For Money Talks, I'm Stacey Johnson.
So now that you know trading markets may be more accurate than polls, who are they predicting to be our new president? Stacey can show you where to go. Just log on to WYMTnews.com and click on the Money Talks link.
And one of our special editions here at First at 4, our weekend forecast. Already thinking about it, here's what it looks like. A chance of rain in here. We could be dealing with the remnants of Hannah. Could be right here in the area, but pulling out late in the day on Sunday.
Where do you go when you need to know? Stay informed by using your cell phone. Simply use your cell network to go to WYMT2go.com. News, weather, sports, and so much more. Sponsored by Appalachian Wireless.
Tune in to the Century 21 Home Show Sunday mornings at 10:30, right here on WYMT.
I suffer from depression and anxiety, and my therapist has helped me to treat my problems.
I have a drug and alcohol problem. KRCC helped me get clean and get my life back.
I am schizophrenic. KRCC has provided me with the right treatment plan.
I was abused, so I called the crisis line. KRCC talked to me and counseled me through my trauma.
Asking for help makes you stronger. Kentucky River Community Care. We make a difference.
In Search of the Lord's Way, Sunday mornings at 7:30, sponsored by the Shelby Valley Church of Christ.
Announcing the 2008 Excellence in Entrepreneurship Awards. Finalists from the 55-county region of Eastern and Southern Kentucky will be recognized at the Center for Rural Development in Somerset on Monday, September 8th. Award recipients will be announced in 4 categories: business, small business, startup business, and nonprofit business. For more information, please visit cbt.eku.edu or call 606-677-6000. Join us at the Center for Rural Development on Monday, September 8th for our annual awards luncheon.
Looking
for a new job? Find it locally at findkyjobs.com. Post your resume today and you can win a $500 Best Buy gift card. Your future is waiting at findkyjobs.com.
Now there's a knife so sharp you can cut a pineapple in midair. It's the Miracle Blade 3 Perfection Series. You'll get my all-purpose slicer, also rock and chop, my fillet and boning knife, my chop and scoop, my paring knife, 4 steak knives, my perfection shears.
But wait, we'll send you a second complete set of knives free. Just imagine, that's now nearly $500 worth of knives for just one payment of only $39.95. So call now.
The land down under came out on top for breaking the Guinness World Record for the most number of people to take part in the stiletto sprint. Hundreds of women lined up near the Sydney Harbor Bridge to strap on their high heels and take part. Sprinters had to wear at least a 3-inch heel to participate. The winner took home $5,000 and the coveted stiletto trophy. While some breezed through the run, others were not so lucky. Medical teams were on scene treating sprained ankles and scabbed knees, and that is not something that I would want to try to do.
The thing is, I would like to see you try to do that, running down there in those, but that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I don't know what to say about something like that. But as far as forecast around here coming up, staying dry the next few days here, Neil. Chances for rain arrive this weekend. I'll have the latest on Hannah coming up at 6.
Thanks, Jimmy, and thank you for joining us for this first edition of Mountain News First at 4. Stay with us. We'll see you back here again at 6. Have a good afternoon.